and welcome to the fourth episode of the Next Candidate podcast. I'm your host, Jemima Ayoub, and today I have two incredible guests with me, Nadia and Cynthia from Hope House. Hope House helps several women who would like to keep their pregnancies and who believe they have no alternative but to abort their children to be able to keep those pregnancies, and they also lend a practical hand after birth. Welcome, Nadia and Cynthia.
Thank you. Thank you, Jemima.
Now, just briefly, can you guys tell me what you do and what Hope House does on a broader scale to help women who have unplanned pregnancies?
Okay, well, Hope House was established in mid-2019 when an opportunity came up for us to take over another charity. That charity, it was another pregnancy help centre closing down, and we had an opportunity to open up a pregnancy help centre because we came across a portable building which we thought we could use as an office, and we didn't have to pay rent on that. So we started talking with the other pregnancy help centre that was closing down, and they were in the city of Sydney. So we just swapped. We just said we'll change names, but we've got the same ABN number and a different board, and they were already registered with the ACNC, which is Australian Charities and Not-for-Profit Commission. That's what governs charities in Australia. So we just done a swap with them. We just changed names and changed board members, but we kept the ABN number. We were still registered with the ACNC, so that process of changeover didn't take too long, and we believe that it was given to us by God, and then we set up this portable building as an office, got the equipment, got a mobile phone, got pamphlets printed out, and there was myself and another lady to start off with, and we started that way and got in and started to spread our name out and about via our pamphlets, and lately we've been visiting churches, talking to churches about Hope House also.
Yes, well, I think as Nadia may have already mentioned, we're a pregnancy help centre, and we help and support women who may be experiencing a difficult pregnancy or an unplanned pregnancy. We encourage these women to keep their babies, and we support them along their journey. You know, some of the ways that we help these women and their families are that we take them to their antenatal appointments and to other medical appointments. We offer them food hampers, maternity clothes, baby items, household furniture. Basically, we give them whatever they need or want, and we, of course, provide them with encouragement and emotional support. We answer incoming calls and emails 7 days a week. We also help support post-abortive women and men. So yes, that's basically some of what we do.
That's absolutely incredible. Now, on the other side of the abortion debate, where they believe that abortion should be allowed, one of their main arguments is that we're not pro-life, but we're actually pro-birth. We just want to force ladies to have babies they don't want, which, well, obviously, with the list of things you've just told us that you as a charity do for women is not true. Now, do you believe that the activists who say that they are supporting women's rights are actually just trying to demote them from being allowed to be a mother and trying to discourage them from being able to enjoy their children and raise a child in a society that they would, in the way that they would like to? Do you believe that they're actually counterproductive in their cause?
Yeah, these people who say that women have rights, women have a right to happiness. Okay, but what's more important than a woman's right? What's more important than a woman's happiness? And that's called doing the right thing. For example, if being a pedophile makes a person happy, is their actions good? Or, getting rid of your baby out of the womb, because that will make the woman happy. That's her right. But is that the right thing to do? Because there is something much more important than women's rights, women's happiness, and that's doing the right thing. And also, men and women overlook the fact that there's a conscience, and everybody has a conscience, and you can't dull that conscience. That little voice will be speaking to you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's a fantastic point you've mentioned. So, obviously, they're advocating for women's happiness, but as you said, we also have our conscience, and if our conscience is constantly pricking us, then, well, it's impossible to be happy. So, do you
Right.
think that encouraging women to have abortions without warning them of the chance of post-abortion depression, do you believe it's rather cruel on the medical side, and do you think it's borderlining evil for them to not warn women of the negative effects having an abortion could have on their well-being?
Yes, well, the stories that I've read about post-abortion women, they've written their own stories. None of them mentioned that the abortion clinic, counseled them properly or told them they can, think about it more, or if they're crying, they didn't say, oh, the medical staff there said, oh, go home and think about it. But no, they just ignored all of that, and they just went ahead with the appointment and ignored the feelings of the woman. Say, for example, if she was crying, and they just went ahead and did what they had to do. And some women even said the doctor wouldn't even look at their face, So, yeah, they're the stories that I have read, the women saying that. And also we have had, not many, but some post-abortion clients referred to us, and they have been absolutely riddled with grief and guilt and regret, and they can't get over the abortion. They can't move forward with their life, and even if families have supported them in the abortion, maybe parents, mother, or siblings, and then somebody else in the family has had a baby, then that post-abortive woman, she can't look at that baby. She can't interact with her relative and the baby, and then the mother's saying, "What's wrong with her?" We can't enjoy our grandchild now from, say, our son's wife, and but they, in supporting their daughter in having an abortion, they didn't realise that this would come back to haunt them. Do you have anything to add, Cynthia?
Yes, well, you mentioned whether it's like an evil act from people that aren't letting giving information to the women who are going through their pregnancies and that, and they're just sort of telling them, have an abortion, get rid of the baby. It's just a clump of cells, like they're lying to the women constantly. I do believe it is evil, very evil. So yes, I just believe that that yes, having an abortion was killing your child, and the people that are lying to the women are just they
And they keep telling these women, the people around them, yeah, you're doing the right thing. This is the best thing for you.
yes.
That it's the best thing for you. Don't worry about it. You'll be okay. That's what they get told all the time.
yes, and I think Nadia might have touched on it earlier that you know, they don't tell them about the consequences that the woman will go through later on after she's had the abortion. It may not happen immediately, but you know, it may happen in years to come. Yeah, if she sees a child being taken by the mother to school, 5 years old, whatever, you know, and she thinks back to the abortion that she had, and her child would have been five years old and been going to school. So the consequences can be quite catastrophic, to the point where women can be very, I believe women can even be suicidal. I've heard of, you know, women that can be actually suicidal because the grief is just too much for them to bear, and the guilt that they have to go through. So yes, I just find it totally evil of what the left are actually doing, and the other side actually doing to you know, sort of to these women.
You're so right, and it's absolutely degrading how they treat women like that, and how they don't regard their emotions or feelings. And it's actually quite dangerous, as you said, like it could lead to depression and suicidal thoughts, which is absolutely tragic. And I have no doubt some of the abortion professionals, or so they call themselves, do most definitely know of the negative effects of their advice, and they choose to encourage women to go ahead with these procedures anyway. Now, in noting that quite a few of the women who would have abortions would be quite ignorant to the fact that of the consequences of their actions. They're told that the baby's a lifeless clump of cells, which we do know is not true with modern science. We can prove that an unborn child has all the known signs of life, therefore ending that life is killing the child. So the argument comes with the morality of that, which I would assume would, or argue, isn't moral and isn't right. But obviously the left would disagree with that. So considering these women have been lied to by the industries and by their supposed health professionals, and they haven't been given any counselling or comfort. Obviously, as an abortion charity, you also, as an anti-abortion charity, you also help women who are suffering post-abortion depression. So when you meet a lady who's had an abortion and she's distraught, or a lady's husband or boyfriend who's had his child killed through abortion, do you judge them at all, or do you just fully help them knowing that they couldn't have known what had happened?
You know, definitely we don't judge them. Of course we don't. We don't condemn them. We don't judge them. We just have compassion for them, and we want to support them whichever way we can. We listen to their story, and let them talk about their feelings and, you know, what led up to their abortion, the story that led them to have an abortion, and just listen to them. And we're a Christian organisation, so we do have like a post-abortive Bible study that we can do with post-abortive men and women. So if they choose, they want to have a faith-based support, then we can go ahead and do that with them, do the Bible study with them, and talk to them about God's forgiveness and God's help towards them in their life. But if they don't want a faith-based support, then I guess we could just be a bridge for them in the meantime until they are ready to do a faith-based support talking. We can maybe refer them to somewhere else, or we just be there for them and listen to them, and talk to them about their abortion, and let them talk about their feelings, and ask them to talk about their baby, which later on, which in sessions which should help them. to talk about their aborted baby and to encourage them to like write a letter about their what led to their abortion, and maybe write a letter expressing their feelings, write a letter to their baby expressing their feelings towards the baby. Just, I start like that until they are ready to do a Bible study, a post-abortion Bible study.
That's incredible, and it's really nice to see how, although some people, even unfortunately Christians and other pro-lifers, might judge these women and not want to help them, and I think that's awful, because obviously we're pro-life because we believe the baby's important and we believe life is sacred and we all love life. And if we're going to just condemn people and give them a lower quality of life, which the left are doing by forcing them to have or encouraging them to have these abortions, well, then we're being quite counterproductive. So it's really nice to see you both help ladies, even if they've done what would all agree mayn't be moral or good. So yeah, thank you for sharing.
Also, Jemima, abortion is a sin just like other sins. Now, we're all sinners. We have all sinned, fall short of the glory of God, fallen short of God's standard. And yeah, so we all have our regrets, our shame, from our sins. And an abortion is just like any other sin, and God can take that regret and shame away and provide forgiveness, for all our sins. Yeah.
100%, and it's great to see how you're willing to aid people in the recovery, whether they're mothers who've aborted their babies or fathers who are missing their children, or fathers who may have even potentially coerced their girlfriend or wife to have an abortion, which is really tragic. Now, obviously, in aiding mothers who have chosen life for their child, I'm assuming you're going to see a lot of babies being born from the work that you do. Can you tell me about the experience of actually seeing a child that that could have been aborted, but that you've helped their mother so that should be able to keep the baby? How does that feel?
Well, of course, it's amazing. It's amazing to see, and very joyous and happy occasion to see a little newborn, isn't it? To see the miracle of birth and that this little baby has been born into the world. And especially if we haven't seen any of the babies in real life yet, but we've only seen photos of them.
Yes.
So it's still been very joyous occasion to see the photos of these babies.
Yeah. There was a young, so I'd just like to add there, it was a young girl who we delivered some baby goods to, I think it was last year. Her baby was due in December, and we were hoping very much to meet the baby, but that never happened. We gave the girl. We were unfortunately not able to meet the baby. We gave the young girl every opportunity to we said to her that we'd like to meet her, but somehow she didn't come back to us and say but she did send us a couple of photos, and that was lovely to see the photos of the little baby. But unfortunately, and because Hope House has only been going since 2019, so we're relatively new. Yes, we haven't had as we're hoping to increase our clientele, but at the moment we haven't sort of seen too many babies.
We started pre-COVID, so that was a quiet start, because COVID started, but since beginning of this year, since COVID has finished, we're certainly seeing a number of calls increasing, and presently we're supporting 7 mums.
Oh, that's lovely.
So the new year we'll be seeing these babies being born, God willing.
Yes.
One was born only 2 weeks ago, so the rest of the mums are all due beginning of the first half of next year.
That's fantastic, and I'm sure I saw a photo of a baby who was born a couple of weeks ago on social media, and it was just great to see that we're able to practically see this mother be able to have her baby. And I'm assuming, obviously, with your help and counsel, she was able to do it in confidence. And although it will be nerve-wracking to raise a child, I'm sure with the right support, she'll feel a whole lot more comfortable in doing so, which I think is just great, because the point of being pro-life is to enhance life. It's not to make women feel scared or nervous or force them to raise a child that they don't think they can. So it's great to see the practical outcomes, such as what you guys do through your charity.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Now, for anyone listening in the audience to this podcast and who would like to get involved in what you guys do, how can they volunteer either their time, finances, or abilities to the cause?
Yes, we as I said, we've got 7 mums that we're supporting at the moment. So it's good. We do need volunteers, but volunteers who have time. Volunteers who have a bit of time that they can give, men and women. Men can support the partner of the girl. If you sometimes the partner of the girl, he would like to talk to a male worker. So men can do that. They can support post-abortive men, and they can do practical things like delivering furniture to our clients. But we need volunteers who have time, and volunteers who know the gospel, who have experienced the gospel in their lives, who know the love of Christ in their lives, and who are compelled to share the love of Christ with people. And what we do, if we support a young mum, if she doesn't drive, or even if she does drive, we offer to go with her to her antenatal appointments, to ultrasounds, to any other medical appointments that she may have. If she doesn't drive, we offer to drive her and go with her. We offer to go and do maternity shopping with her for clothes. We before the baby is born, we offer to go shopping with her and help her buy baby items that she may not be able to afford to buy. This baby that you saw on our Facebook that was just born, I went shopping with his mum and bought her a lot of baby goods items for her baby in preparation for the birth of her baby. Some baby items she got from relatives that passed hand-me-downs to her, but delivering food hampers, and more importantly, a lot of the women, they just want to talk. They just want to talk to you and tell you their story and share their life with you. And that's such a privilege and an honour to be led into a woman's life like that, to hear her story and to listen to her and to offer her encouragement and support how we can. Yeah.
So essentially, if you're willing to volunteer to almost be a friend to women in one of the most stressful or scary times in their life, then
Yes.
How can they get into contact with you? If somebody in the audience would like to join in, what's the best way?
Well, if there are women who are experiencing a crisis pregnancy and they want to get in touch with us, they can call us on 0433 930 220. I'll repeat that again, 0433 930 220. And if there is nobody who answers straight away, just leave a message and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Or you can send an email to hopehouseSydney@gmail.com. hopehouseSydney@gmail.com. And our web address is www.hopehouse.com.au.
Yeah, there's some more information on our website if people would like to go on our website.
That is absolutely brilliant. Now, what kind of advice would you give to a lady who may be a little far from you guys, or who mayn't want to get into contact immediately? What advice would you give to a lady who's tempted to either get an abortion or who's had an abortion and is feeling really down about it? What would you suggest she do if she's listening right now?
If she wants an abortion or has had an abortion?
Either.
Yeah, well, she certainly, if she's thinking of having an abortion, she certainly should ring our phone line and we can have a chat to her, talk to her about her story, her support network, and certainly offer her our help and support, how we can help her and support her. And if she's a post-abortive woman, certainly again she can ring our hope line or send us an email, and we can also talk to her and find out about her story and yeah, just support her in her grief. And if she's interested in faith-based support, we can certainly arrange to do the Bible study with her. So it's up to her.
And that would obviously extend to the male partners of a lady who either wants an abortion, or who is suffering from post-abortion depression, right?
Sorry, what was that question, Jemima? I missed the first part.
That offer would extend to the male partners of women who might have had an abortion or have.
Oh, definitely. As I said, we do have male support workers, and if they want to, we can talk to them as a couple or separately. Yeah, we're very happy to support the males, the men in this in this role of pre or post abortion also, because the men are part of it too. They a lot of them suffer in silence, don't they? Like they're sort of the forgotten ones, but they are very much part of the woman's life and what happened, you know, during their relationship, what might have led to the abortion, or what happened post-abortion. And a lot of couples might not know, but 70% of couples actually break up after an abortion. And we do tell the women that also, or the men, you know, do you love your partner? Do you love your spouse? Well, if you go ahead with an abortion, there's a 70% chance of you breaking up because of the trauma of going through an abortion. That's just what happens. The trauma, you know, people can't deal with the trauma, and they might blame each other, and they end up going their separate ways.
That's absolutely tragic, and it just shows how important it is for organisations like yours to exist and be encouraged and not be demonised by the left, who would like to see abortion as one of the only options for women. And it's absolutely fantastic what you guys do. I'd really encourage anyone who needs support, who've either had an abortion or who are considering having one, to call Hope House. They're non-judgmental. They're fantastic people who work there, and they only have your best interests at heart. Obviously, they're a charity. Almost all abortion clinics are corporations, so essentially it's unfortunate, but they don't care about you or your well-being, and that is unfortunately proven time and time again with the quite horrible actions they participate in outside of actually aborting children and believing they're doing something right. Now, if anything we've spoken about in this podcast has been triggering to you, Lifeline is a 24/7 support service, and you can contact them on 13 11 14. I'll also put that number in their website on the screen. You don't have to go through anything alone. you should, there's always support available. Please don't suffer alone. It's really important that you get into contact, whether it's somebody you know personally or with a professional help service. Thank you very, very much, Nadia and Cynthia, for coming on and sharing the incredible work you and the broader team at Hope House do for women and men in the most stressful times of their life. Thank you for standing up for the life of the babies who I'm sure exist because of the hard work you guys have put in. If you have anything to share before we go off, feel free to do so.
Yeah, would you like me to tell you some good news stories of our work?
I'd love to hear
Yeah. We, as I said, our calls are increasing, and when you spoke about the calls, I just came to mind about a lady I spoke to who was thinking about an abortion, and I talked to her about the topics that I normally talk about: family support, do you have family support, your story, why you want an abortion or why you're thinking of having an abortion, her relationship situation with her partner, just getting a bit of background about her, and just encouraging her, to think about her decision, to think about maybe regret, grief afterwards, to research all of that research about abortion procedures, just things like that. I talk to them about. And don't rush into anything. And of course, always offering that Hope House is there to be by their side, to be with them, and we are here to help you and support you. And at the end of that conversation, she said to me that I was the only person that said to her, that was sort of telling her not to have an abortion, but that she would be okay if she didn't have an abortion. It sounded like everybody else was telling her that abortion was the answer to this unwanted baby. But we empower them to say, look, you can do it. You've got supportive family, supportive parents if you have. If you don't, then we're here to support you and help you. There are other organisations that can help you too in regards if you're having relationship problems, you can get some help there. But we try to empower them to say, yes, you can do it. You can do it. It's not, you don't have to go and have this abortion just to get on with your life. Some other good stories. I had a young man ring the Hope line. His partner was 20 weeks pregnant. She wasn't an Australian citizen. She didn't have Medicare or medical insurance, and they were thinking of having an abortion at 20 weeks. I talked at length to this young man and offering him our help and finding out that he had, supportive family. And in a way he said, we'll ring you back if we decide to keep the baby. 10 weeks later, they rang back asking for our help. So that's a really good story, and we helped this young couple financially and with baby items. We paid for their medical expenses until she was able to get her Medicare. We helped her apply for Medicare in conjunction with the right visa application, and it was just wonderful that she got her Medicare, and they decided to keep their baby, and they are so grateful and thankful and happy now for our help and support in every way that we gave them. Another mum comes to mind. She's a single mum, and her pregnancy that she has now, the father of that baby abandoned her when he found out she was pregnant, and her other two children are with their dad at the moment. Anyway, she really needed support, especially emotional support and encouragement. And we met up with her initially on a weekly basis, just and talked with her, had lunch with her, just listened to her mainly, and just were there for her. Then started to go with her to her antenatal appointments, ultrasound appointments, and and that's what we're doing. We're still there for her, taking her to Centrelink appointments. She doesn't drive, so she just wants somebody to be there with her, because she doesn't have family here and doesn't sound like that many friends. But and she's so grateful to us also for the help and support we're giving her. So when and like when her babies will be due sometime next year, and like with the other mums, we will offer to help them with baby items. We will buy the baby items for them, or give out of our donations that we've got. Like people generously donate good quality baby clothes, cots, change tables, things like that. If we don't have them in our storage, we will buy for them. And we find that these mums are very, very grateful and happy for any small thing that we do for them. So there's some good news stories that we're doing at the moment.
That's absolutely fantastic. Now, where can you guys be found on social media?
Yeah, well, we've had our website address, which Cynthia already had before. We have Facebook also, and the Facebook and Instagram. We're not that active on Facebook and Instagram. We some of our younger volunteers are a bit busy to keep up with that. But when they do have time, they do put some things on. And our Facebook address is F Hope House Sydney. And we do have Instagram also, but I don't have the Instagram address. But if you know to use Instagram, then I'm sure you'll find us.
I'll put all the links in the description of this podcast if anyone wants to check out Hope House online. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me, and thank you for everything you do. To anyone listening, always remember you're never alone, even if you think it's a very bleak situation for you or your baby. There's always help. There's always somebody who does actually care about you. So get in touch. There's absolutely no judgment. The ladies at Hope House and men at Hope House just want to help you. So make sure you don't suffer alone. Make sure you get in touch. And if you do have some free time and you do want to help women in crisis, don't just speak against abortion. You also have to act upon it. So if you do have free time and you are against abortion and you want to help out ladies and men in their darkest times, make sure you get into contact with Hope House and see if you can help in any way. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Please also share this video to anyone who you think would be interested in what we've discussed. We haven't discussed anything super controversial, so you should be right in sharing it. Thanks so much for joining, and bye.
Bye.